Hello everybody and welcome to day 56 of my daily lockdown update video. I'm losing the plot, honestly, I'm losing the plot. Hello everybody, welcome to day 56 of my daily lockdown videos, which I'm making to document these funny times and so that we can keep each other company. So today I'm going to do what I regard as an idiot's guide, because it's by an idiot, not because it's for an idiot, on Pick for Britain, which is something that's been in the news a lot today, and it's been in the news more quietly in, recent weeks, but today it was mentioned a lot more. It's actually something I just learned about today, thanks to Twitter drama. I didn't really know it existed beforehand, but it sounds like it's been around for a few weeks. And it was familiar in that kind of way that, things might be where I might have just skimmed it in my Google feed or something. So yeah, let's talk about it. So I'm going to sort of give you a bit of context on it first, then talk about why it's in the news, and then talk about what I think about this whole wartime unity thing, and also what I think about signing up. So this is an idiot's guide because I'm an idiot, right? Like, I've read a handful of news stories, I'm going to present the information I found there, but I implore that you don't take my word as a final word on it. But for context, in the UK agriculture industry, there is a seasonal flow of workers. So migrant workers come to the country to work in agriculture and then they leave after the season is over. And we're really dependent on that workforce. Problem being now, obviously, is that they can't travel here because of the coronavirus. Travel's restricted. Apparently this year's migrant workforce is only a third of what it normally is. The worry there then being that because there isn't enough people to pick it, there's going to be loads of fruit and vegetables in the fields of UK farmers that is just rotting on the vine because they don't have enough people to pick it and ship it. It's just going to not be collected quick enough, and then it's going to be nasty, and then no one will want it and no one will buy it. And then later on down the line, that's going to mean that food gets a lot more expensive in UK supermarkets. It's not anything anyone wants. So Pick for Britain is like a campaign and website that launched about a month ago, and the idea is that it should help connect farmers to furloughed workers in the UK, people living in the UK, either furloughed workers or people who might be seasonal, like students or something like that, but who are available right now, basically. And it encourages them to supplement their income by picking fruit, working on a farm. Spending the summer outside. What's not to love, right? And probably being able to get some free fruit and veg when it's a little bit... No one really wants to go to the supermarket. Like, it sounds like it's all winners, right? Now, the reason that it was in the news today is that the Environment Secretary, George Eustice, let me check. George Eustice said at today's press briefing, because the UK government does these daily press briefings, he basically talked about it and said, get out there and do it, join up, sign on. He promoted Pick for Britain today, basically, as did Prince Charles. Prince Charles of the royal family, British royal family or the English royal family, of the UK's royal family, also made a little video promoting the scheme. A little vitamin C tea. Herbal teas are like an exercise in disappointment because they never taste like they smell. Anyway, Pick for Britain website gets promoted today. It's already been up for a month or so. Apparently people have already found jobs through it, but it got promoted today in the daily press briefing, and the website crashed basically today whilst it was, being promoted. In fact, I think as Sky News puts it, within minutes of the minister urging people to visit, it was down, it was crashed, and you couldn't get on the jobs section. So as of the time just before I recorded this video, I'm doing this at 9 o'clock at night. Oh, it's going to be a late one. As of around approximate this time, I'm like 20 minutes ago, I might have checked it. The website was definitely still damaged. It was slow, real slow. I managed to get through, fight my way through a little bit. Like, I would still get that error message on some pages, not on others. At first the homepage wouldn't load, and then and then it did, and then I got through to jobs, and so then I was going to look at jobs in the local area, but when I did that, then it gave me the error message. So it's damaged, right? It's damaged goods. There's like a kind of error message that comes up, and it says the service is unavailable. And I thought, oh, that's kind of ironic, seeing as valuable services being unavailable is the reason that this website exists. So yeah, I was going to look for things that are available in my area, but it doesn't look like I'll be doing that, at least not today. And that's kind of why it was in the news today, that it's you know, a big scheme that the government really wants to push. So they've released like press releases about it and stuff, and they've mentioned it in their daily press update. They're really pushing to try and get people out into the fields of UK farmers to pick the goods, you know, spend your summer working outside, and yeah, just do your part, right? In fact, between George Eustace and Prince Charles, there's been like a real kind of like national pride type approach to promoting this that's very like a kind of throwback to like wartime unity, right? Like World War time. They're even using phrases like land army, right? We need an army of people to help. And you know, this is an idiot's guide, I'm the idiot, but to me that seems kind of tone deaf to who the target audience of this kind of thing might be, or at least the most active target audience. I'm a millennial, right? And I would assume that the most ripe audience for this kind of appeal would be like my age and younger, because we're less likely to have families who we need to stay home and take care of because all the schools are closed, right? But my generation and lower were kind of a bit lacking in that national pride, right? Not only have we not lived through a world war, but also statistically, the past like 2 elections and also a referendum have not gone our way, nor does the country seem to be being run by people that we would like to run it. It's all very, I don't think that national pride and patriotism is really a kind of rich vein in my generation and lower, right? But I would assume my generation and lower is the most, I don't know, like the best audience to tap for this kind of help. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, it feels kind of tone deaf in a way, and I find almost any kind of these kind of PR messages that come out with like a wartime unity, like the British people come together kind of thing. I don't know, to me that always seems to feel almost campy, right? Like, I don't think that kind of national identity or national pride really exists in our lowest generations. At least that's, you know, me speaking anecdotally of, you know, my friendship group and the kind of people that I interact with. But anyway, would I recommend signing on to Pick for Britain? Is that what it's called? Would I recommend signing on for Pick for Britain? It sounds like a good system, right? Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. I think it's just the kind of PR they're giving it that kind of slaps me the wrong way a bit. I think it could be really lovely to spend some of the summer outside in the fields, right? That sounds great. It's getting exercise. People need exercise. You can't, there's only so much running you can do. You might be able to get yourself some fruit too. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that it would definitely result in free or anything, but it's really the kind of thing I think that people would need to decide on an individual basis. I'm probably going to be looking at local jobs, because if I can just, you know, spend a couple of hours a week doing some fruit picking, why the hell not, right? Like a little bit of pocket change, a little bit of exercise. But the other problem being, you know, they're looking still for qualified farm workers so that they can train people properly en masse. And normally they don't have to do that training, because the same kind of groups of communities come over every year to help out on the farms, so they don't need training as extensively as just like your average Joe who gets their strawberries from Morrison's and is now thinking they might get some from the local farm. How much they're gonna need training, right? And it's not just that, it's also stuff like, it's not just picking either, right? Like, they also want plant husbandry for people to like maintain the health of the plants, and they want forklift drivers and stuff like that. So there's kind of something for everyone. And yeah, I think that's kind of all I have to say on that little news update. Like I said, it's funny that a website that is supposed to be a stand-in for a valuable service is telling us that service is unavailable, but I'm sure that will be fixed within like a couple more hours, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I think the news stories about that are from earlier in the day, and now it's like 9 p.m. So any techies have probably gone home. I don't think it'll be fixed before tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe it's just like a traffic size thing, right? Like it could be fine by tomorrow because less people will have cared because more people would have visited it and been told that they can't get into it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. It's been an idiot's guide to Pick for Britain. Okay, bye.